Hello, everyone. I want to speak to you about my experience yesterday, actually, and then some of the information that has come through over the last 4 or 5 days. So, when I woke up yesterday, I got shown and told that we're in new light, and it felt like that. It felt fine, more purified. I got told we've moved we've travelled through the eye of the needle, and we are in new time. So it's a little bit earlier than we might normally move into this kind of galactic year, but I am told that the Lion's Gate portal has opened earlier than normal. Anyway, it really feels exciting. So what I got shown, so I've been watching for the last few years, I see this hexagon net in the sky. And yesterday in early dawn, it was still that. It was this hexagon net. And then early, yes, hexagon early dawn, and it kind of shrunk, so the hexagons got smaller, and then it became a diamond pattern. So I was watching a net that was a diamond pattern, and then it returned again to a hexagon pattern. I think this morning, yeah. So we just had this little taste of what I guess is our diamond coding. Shown, and Gaia spoke of this notion that when with this Lion's Gate portal, it's the equivalent of being in a car with a what do you call it? An opening window in the roof of the car. And that is the equivalent. The Lion's Gate opening is like reaching into the sky and opening up the sky. This light is just going to flood onto the planet, and so we're in this sort of warm up of this, or we are receiving it already, and it's like it's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That's what I got told. So this light, it's this deluge of light. So yesterday was that experience of like, wow, new light, new time, new codes, new energy, new frequency, new world, and we are in it. So that was my experience of yesterday. And so what is going to happen is how it shows up as this light that is so illuminating that nothing can hide from it. So any of our shadow, any of our trauma, any of our wounding, any of our healing within self, it's going to be there for us to look at. We can't avoid it. It will be quick to transmute because of the energies, but we do need to look at it, and it will come up. So around you, around us, because it will be happening for all of us. First of all, in self, we might be touching on the edges of crankiness. We might touch on the edges of depression, of anger, or even rage, of peevishness. And be aware that that might be happening around us as well. So you might want to judge where you go and when you do go. And just you might want to be a little bit insular as you're dealing with your own stuff. But that's coming up for us to look at and to deal with. And then, of course, it's this kind of ultra maximum illumination, because we are coming into our own mastery. So it's in the finer nuances of this for many of us, and for others, they are being, like prized out of their shells and blown open and awaken. So that those who are ready for that, and that is what is happening. Yes, that's right. this sweet CCNZ, it was really intense, the energies yesterday. And yes, so what Gaia is showing me is exactly that from the solstice. From the solstice, it's built up. But yesterday, it was like that portal in the sky was opened up, and just this, it showed up as like sheets of light, not rays of light, sheets of light. Can't avoid it. Can't move out of it. Just have to work with it. And so this is what is happening on our world and in humanity, is that everything is being turned up and illuminated. So the truth being revealed as well, and we'll just be witnessing that, and we can witness it from the perspective of the master. We can be the observer, we can hold space, we can answer questions. We don't have to solve other people's stuff. We don't have to be being the healer unless it's asked. We don't have to be being the teacher unless it's asked. We just hold our own frequency and hold space for others to come into theirs. But that's what we'll be witnessing in our immediate surroundings and in our communities. So I'll come back to the notes that I wrote in the last few days. So on the 25th, I wrote that we will witness, so I am intrigued to know if you are witnessing this, a deluge of awakening over the next fortnight as the solar Lionsgate portal I am showing opens earlier and more widely this year. And this outpouring of light pours over the planet. This is likely to have a huge impact on the awakening of the masses. So I see large groups of humans, wide-eyed, and looking heavenwards at the sparkly silver night sky. So some people have never had any kind of propulsion to look at the evening skies doing that. And I'm showing there'll be many instances of things like Aurora Borealis. Somebody posted a photo on my Facebook page of, I think, somewhere down the East Cape, and it was bright pink, but the whole sky was bright pink. All the light was bright pink. And what Gaia says, that the change in our skies is undeniable. We'll also be witnessing these changes within self, within humanity, and a recognition of the softness of this light. And it does have that feel to it. It feels softer, it feels loving, it's nurturing, but we cannot move out of it. Hi, Anna. Hi, Jill. So we are having this kind of sense of it being magical and feeling good. She says that rumblings will come, and many of them, earthquake and thunder and apparitions in the skies, and that what she says is that we will see apparitions of ancient beings that people will recognize and that cannot be disputed, that something is occurring. It will be your choice to be in fear or in wonder. I'm showing that internal waters have risen, and I'm showing that that is to help maintain like an equilateral balance. So it showed up to me as like a trough in the center, in the equatorial center, with water, and it's sort of sloshing from side to side, as though that was helping us and the message I got was it was helping us maintain this equilibrium through this shift. And of course, those internal waters apply to us as well. That, yeah, lots of small craft. I've seen a lot of small craft in the earth, and that's always an indication that we're about to have a big change. Hi, Frank, you're very welcome. That alignments are being checked and counter-checked and, final preparations again in readiness. So this whole sort of winding up to the 8-8 portal feels quite imminent in terms of our ascension. Yeah, everything is set for movement and stabilization. Final countdown is close, and each of us will be in the correct designated place according to our soul choice. So just remember that as well. Everyone's made their soul choice, and they'll be where they're meant to be. There are a number of options as to where souls may be during this shift. Some may be taken off planet and given a reset and then brought back and returned, and some may leave permanently to go somewhere else, and some may go to another planet, and some may roll through. There's about 12 different options, and it kind of doesn't matter because we've all made our choice about that. So right now we're going through this kind of last shifting out, purging of the negative and the shadow. And what you need to do is be in the positive knowing and feeling of how you want to be and how you want to feel. So this deeply held emotional shadow is being illuminated. So that's in self and in humanity. And the questions to be asking are, what truths are arising? What wounds are being illumined and what pains are being felt? And to shine greater light on those, not less, at this time. So we are going deeper in all ways, deeper purification, deeper awakening, deeper illumination, and deeper healing. So those deep, deep wounds that we might have stacked away for all of our life and all of our lifetimes, because many of them are repeat wounds through many lifetimes, they may be coming up to be looked at. The other thing is that these energies are fine, they are full, are saturated, and the body is being affected deeply. So you may have found that you've been in deep, deep sleep at times as well, I want to say, I don't know why I want to say this, but like a drunken sleep, as though you wake up and you've lost track of time. That there is deep penetration from this light into our deepest woundings, into the old woundings, down into the earliest layers, the earliest times, the earliest lifetimes here on the planet. They're coming up to be seen, observed, and felt. This is purification of the finest primary foundational levels. And so many are now having these experiences, like these sensory explosions of light and a recognition of feeling and being more light, more of your radiant self with less density. So are you feeling that? Are you feeling that you're holding more light, you're carrying more light, that it's different light, that it's more purified, and that you are lighter, that you have less density? So we're also having this kind of feeling of being held, of being in suspended animation in these energies. Noticing that you might be feeling more expanded, that new gifts are coming online, they're becoming obvious, and you're able to see them. These gifts that you might have dreamed of having once, coming out to be played with, to be explored, to be used. And this includes telepathy and seership and prophecy, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and lucid dreaming. And dreaming in our reality, that's the place that we're in now. So we're putting our focus on what it is that we want. Be mindful that you're not shifting the language around to be attracting what it is that you don't want. So be soft with these, allow them to grow and morph and improve, these gifts that are showing up for you. Many are now in good practice with being in present moment. So if that's a new practice for you, then get proficient with that. This present moment, thought, word, action, and breath. Notice the ability to stay calm and to stay in a neutral position. That we can feel in that neutral, we can feel in harmony and in unity. Those are sort of key phrasings that can hold us and that we can hold. And what we have to do is come into the mastery of being able to do that whilst witnessing chaos. Because we are likely to see a bit of chaos as other people's worlds fall apart and they don't have the wherewithal to maintain their own energy fields and systems. And so we can be the pioneers for that, the exemplars for that, the teachers of that by doing it, being it. And so as humanity, this is our collective experience each day. We're rising up, we're holding these qualities and harmonics within and around self while witnessing the awakening of more and more each day, the seeing of truth, the feeling of hope, the arising of love, greater peace and harmony and love in the heart. Gnosis. Your inner wisdom, your cellular knowing, your gnosis. Everyone is in this ascending process, and Gaia says no one will be left behind, but there are, like I said, there are sort of like 12 deviations, if you like, to come through into our higher ascended planetary life. So we're coming more and more into our fifth dimensional existence and bandwidth. Everything is in place, in order, in readiness, and each day we are receiving higher frequencies. They are incredible, really, aren't they? But we're managing them better. So these codes, these lights, these illuminations, they are enhancing and activating our DNA strandings back to 12 strands and above, each adding to the bucket. So in the bucket, each of us with everything that we're doing is adding to the bucket, this bucket of, let's call it, this bucket of water that represents consciousness. So this bucket of consciousness, we're each adding to that. And when that bucket tips over, the planet will shift. And we're very, very close. It's closer and closer to being filled. It's closer and closer to this overflowing, this tipping point, this ascension. Be patient. Hold your highest frequency, your greatest balance and equilibrium. That's our own personal role. Observe, smile at what you see around you and see things from a higher perspective. This energy is streaming and it's illuminating any last shadow, purifying us and the planet, saturating us with higher light, up-leveling us back to mastery. And that's all in rapid progression at the moment for this final stage of ascension, which we are in. So keep doing you, being you. So this is what I wrote today. This broad and deep illumination and purification cannot be avoided. Your trauma and wounding, your deeply held issues, they will come up in you and in others around you and in the family, at work, and in the community. You may notice this, so just be aware, be vigilant. And at the moment it shows up as this very pure, creamy light. We're coming into this ability to manifest in a very quick turnaround. So you put out what it is that you want. We're coming into this embodiment of our multidimensional aspects of this, the higher aspects of soul which come through from our many, many past lives. It's coming in like this wide mouthed funnel. So yes, feel, heal, release, and attend to all that comes. This very deep, fast-paced light. And it is also in hand and synchronous with our coming into our original divine plan blueprints, as is the planet. So it's strong and it's intense. Listen to your inner guidance, your heart instructions for this final phase for Ascension. And I'm showing it's like the spiral road. You know, if you're driving up the pinnacle, it's like we're on the final curve of that road, the last curve around the pinnacle between now and the Lion's Gate, where you will enter into your full power and potential. So call in all of your wisdom and your knowledge, manifest this. Yeah, so the thing to do is to be the observer of what is around you without taking it on board. Just observe it and notice it. And your job is to keep your frequency high. So you don't hold on to these emotional observances. You just see them and in that neutral position, in the zero. Oh yeah, I see that. I don't have a response to it. It could be this or it could be this. I see it. And then just allow it to move out. And how we keep up with this is just by being in flow as best we can, by being well hydrated and by being in connection to the earth. The earth is our best ally. Nature is our best ally. Get out and amongst it, even if it's just for a few minutes. And to be not judging, just be holding and in connection to your inner self, to your inner heart. So let me see these questions. Double rainbow, Jules McFarlane, double rainbow today here in Utah. Sweet CCNZ saying yesterday was intense. It's been intense since the solstice. Yes, it has. Hi, Becca. And then, yes, the energy's kicking my butt since the 21st. And chills, Anna. Tell me what you mean about the chills. Excuse me a moment. Oh, yes, I think a lot of people have been experiencing hair loss. You're not the first person, Golden, who said about that. So, yeah, speak to your higher self and be appreciative of your hair. Thank it for becoming its beautiful, original, lustrous, thick, healthy self. And then, Nancy, how do we know when we are upgraded? That's a very good question. Let me just feel into that. We'll feel finer. So on the inside, you might feel as though energies are streaming like a fine mist up and down. You'll feel stabilized. You'll have clarity about who you are. You'll be able to see yourself more clearly. Anna's saying she's getting chills as her new gifts are activated, so that might be another sign. The chills are often like our internal messages to self that we're in alignment or that something is our truth. And how else? Well, for me, what I notice is that I wake up with a smile on my face. I wake up feeling in bliss. So all of those, it's that sense of uplifted well-being and equilibrium, and being able to stay in the place of being quite neutral no matter what is going on around us, to just see it as a part of the game, a part of the play, a part of the movie, and that everyone is having their own experience, that you wrote your script but you didn't write their script, so you let them play their script and you just observe it. If you can do it like that, it's easier to stay in your own illuminated equilibrium and space, and from that neutral position, because yeah, we each contracted with our soul, or our soul contracted with the divine, to come here and learn particular things and do particular things. So yeah, it's exciting, honestly, it's so exciting. And I am not quite sure exactly um, uh, when, but yeah, I have this real sense that, like I was shown, we're on the last round of the, driving around the pinnacle, a road on the pinnacle, and it would not be outside the realms of possibility that we go through here. We move through, we have that ascension moment on during this Lionsgate window. So yesterday afternoon I said I feel buzzed, drunk. Yeah, well, it's interesting how that word came out of my mouth. Stumbling into things and then passed down. Definitely not drinking alcohol, but it certainly felt just like it. Yes, yes. Alma Linda says, amen, the chosen choose to be chosen. Yeah, so choose yourself, because we came here for big things. We came here, we were selected to come, we chose to come because we are powerful beyond measure, and this is where we're coming back to, the recognition of that we hold these incredible gifts to bring steerage to this place, to steerage to the earth, steerage to humanity, to move into this beautiful illuminated fifth dimensional and beyond. I think once we hit into that fully saturated fifth dimensional bandwidth, we're going to roll very, very quickly through into upper higher dimensions than that. So yeah, bathe in it, bask in it, soak in the knowledge of it, be the witness of it, and we shall see. But certainly, the sun is behaving in a way that is leading us, and has been, hasn't it? The flares and filaments that have been rolling off the sun, I've definitely seen that they influence our body, they catalyze change in our body, they've been responsible for really our DNA activations, reactivations, re-smoothing, reconnections. And so I watch them come in, they come into our crystalline grid lines and into our crystalline earth star chakra, and up they're released from there into our spine and into our cells. And yeah, the sun is getting more and more intense and more rapid fire with what it's releasing, which impacts us. And it's going to be the thing that tips us into our ascension moment. That's always showing up to me as the sun, the solar flash, let's call it that. This ball of light, it comes from the sun and hits the earth and tips us in. Okay, someone else is saying that they see rainbow clouds. Yeah, we've got this incredible sort of light refraction going on, where these lights are being seen in unusual forms and places. So yeah, hold on to your hats, because here we go. And the other aspect of this is to be really focused on what we want on this creation mode of what we want in our world. And for me, I feel it's important to go with the feeling. So I want our world to be full of peace, and I want our world to be full of acknowledgement and acceptance of difference and celebration of both difference and sameness. I want our world to be full of prosperous ways of being in harmony and unity with one another and with nature, of being focused on growth, our own development, of being in a state of well-being and health and love, of being in unconditional loving space and holding that for one another, of being in nurture of one another, of being able to be in wholeness and health, and that's what we'll move into. And we will be doing that hand in hand with nature and with Gaia. So there'll be lots more, like that's what I'm holding space for, and for us to be, living in spaces that are conscious creations and in alignment with nature, and that we each hold space for the earth being in its highest vibration, and that for one another. So I will leave you with that, and thank you so much for joining me here, and I wish you a beautiful day, and we'll speak again soon. Bye.